Before we get on the record, I understand that you all had a hearing with Judge Lee Matthews Rodriguez, and that she heard the case on October the 25th. And you're here on a de novo appeal. It was set for 3 hours, but somebody, one of you is asking me to confer with children as well. And so my team reached out to you and explained to you that the setting needed to include all of that time. And so I want to make sure I understand how long you actually need and make sure you actually set this in the right docket for the right amount of time. So can somebody explain that to me?
Yes, Your Honor. We had a motion for the judge to confer with child. We wanted to make sure if this was something that the petitioner had to figure out, or if it was the judge that would tell us when to meet. I checked with the Travis County local rules. It said that the motion to confer would be held on the same day as the hearing, and the judge would be the one to tell us when and whether she would be willing to meet with the child. So I called yesterday with Raquel to confirm that, and she had told us that the judge will inform us of what you want to do this morning. Regarding the time, we do request 3 hours, and we request that the motion to confer be considered within those 3 hours. If needed, that can take up some of petitioner's time since this is our motion.
Okay, Ms. Martinez, what are your thoughts on that?
Your Honor, this is a de novo hearing, and so pursuant to the rules under Statute 201.015, the only issues on the de novo hearing are the issues that we filed in our request for de novo hearing. I noticed that the opposing party is wanting to address issues from the prior hearing, but they did not file a counter request for de novo hearing asking for those issues to be reviewed. So I guess, to begin with, we want to limit the issues to the issues that we addressed in our request. And so, and the big issue is, of course, this request to confer with the children. In the original hearing, and the opposing counsel has referred to a motion for the court to confer. There is no motion for the court to confer that was filed the first time, nor this time. It's included in their pleading, but there's no motion, there's no affidavit on file as to why on a temporary order hearing this is necessary or required. And what they were requesting was that they change which conservator had the right to determine the children's primary residence. So that is the subject of our request for de novo. Our request for de novo also had the court not find that it is in the children's best interest to make that change as to which conservator had the right to determine their primary residence.
Okay. But what about the timing? And do we have enough time to hear this case? And if I needed to confer with the children, do it within that time frame?
Your Honor, I believe we do have enough time. We were able to make I believe it was under 3 hours in the last hearing, so I believe we have enough time to do that here.
Okay. And the other question is, I understand Judge Matthews Rodriguez conferred with the children electronically. I typically don't confer with children electronically. I do that in person. So explain to me, where are the kids and what is their schedule? And if I decided that I needed to confer with them, how would that be accomplished?
Your Honor, if you would like, we could have the children driven to the courtroom. We would just have to know what time. I'd have to talk to my client briefly. I believe they get out at least at 4 p.m. Yes, at least at 4 p.m. so they could be driven to the courtroom after they get out of school.
Where is the school? Okay, so that's not particularly close to downtown, which is where I am located. And if they get out at 4 with traffic, you might not even be here until 4:30. And there's 3 children, isn't there?
Yes, there are 3.
So that's not enough time. 30 minutes is not enough time for me to confer with children. So Judge Matthews Rodriguez did her conferring with the children while the children were in the school counselor's office, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can those arrangements be made again today?
Yes. Yes, they can. They just need to know when so that they can get the kids there on time.
Okay. All right. Well, let me hear the case. And for the lawyers, talk to me about the new statute for motions to confer in temporary orders, the requirements for that.
Do you want to allow Ms. Redalosa to go first, or?
Sure, or you, either one.
Yes, Your Honor. That is Texas Family Code 153.009, interview of child with chambers. It just says that in a non-jury trial or at a hearing, the attorney or the party can request for a motion for the judge to confer, and it just says that the court shall interview if the child is 12 years of age or older, and may interview if they're 12 years or younger. They don't specify anything if it's a temporary orders hearing or if it's a final, just that if it's a non-jury trial or at a hearing, it doesn't specify that the motion needs to be in writing. And in the
Well,
past, we
that part I agree with you, but what I'm asking is, do you have case law to indicate to me that it's a shall when it's temporary orders and not a merits?
That's where we are, Your Honor. And I'm referring to 156.006 under the modification because that's what the suit is. It's a modification. And the interesting thing here too, and it's fact driven, but it's also part of the court's record, is that this is not the first time that Mr. Matthews has filed a motion to modify. He previously filed a motion to modify and then non-suited it. And the last time he did this, he also requested that the court confer with the children at temporary orders with no affidavit, no motion to confer with the children, and his request at that time was denied. So we're asking the court to deny that request again because if there is such an emergency, and I think this is why, under the statute, if they're trying to bypass all of that, and I'm seeing this happen more often, that parties are trying to bypass that and say, oh, you just have to prove best interest and confer with the children. And our argument is that children should not be put in that position to confer with a court unless you show best interest first, especially at a temporary order hearing in a petition to modify where you're changing who gets to determine their primary residence. That's our argument.
Okay. And let's get on the record now. And what I would like each of you to do is to give me an opening statement. In that opening, I'd like for you to give me a little history on the case, what the status quo has been, what the request for the change has been, and what you're seeking from this court today. I do have the letter ruling from Judge Matthews Rodriguez. I know it has not been reduced to an order, but I do have a letter ruling from October the 30th, 2024. So tell me where you've been, how you got here, and what you're seeking, what you're asking this court to do in light of the rulings from Judge Matthews Rodriguez on October the 30th, 2024. So with that being said, let's get on the record. And are there any other logistical issues I need to know about? Does anybody need additional breaks other than one break in the morning? Any other administrative or housekeeping matters that you all need to discuss with me?
and not at this time.
Okay. All right. So the court will call D1 Jonathan Daniel Matthews and Laura Cristina Rivas. Please state your names for the record, and then I'm going to swear the parties in so I can get that out of the way because on Zoom, it's harder to remember to do that, and then we'll start with our openings. State your names for the record.
Frina Redaloza for the petitioner, Jonathan Matthews.
Laura Martinez for the respondent, Laura Rivas.
Okay. And you all are proceeding today on a de novo appeal of the associate judge's ruling, Lee Matthews Rodriguez, from her ruling from October the 25th, 2024. And you all are in agreement to proceed via Zoom, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Let me swear the parties in. Let's get Mr. Matthews and Ms. Rivas. Please put your right hand up. Raise your right hand. Let me show you over here. Okay. All right. I need you to unmute yourself, Ms. Rivas. That way I can hear you.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You may put yourselves on mute now. I need everybody on mute who isn't speaking. That way we don't have any feedback. And with that being said, I want to hear from the movement first on your opening, please. Ms. Martinez.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I guess we're the movement on the request for de novo hearing. But initially we were not the movement at the original hearing. But looking at the order from Judge Matthews Rodriguez, what we have requested a de novo hearing on for today is regarding the fact that the primary residence of the children was going to be determined by Mr. Matthews and not Ms. Rivas. Ms. Rivas has had that right and that exclusive right since February 24th, 2016. Since then, the children have been primarily in her possession, and she has had the right to determine their primary residence. This case has a long history. I began representing her during the pandemic. And at that time, it was a motion for enforcement when Mr. Matthews refused to return the children. There was also CPS investigations going on. At the last hearing, Judge Matthews Rodriguez heard some evidence about that CPS investigation, and the fact that that CPS investigation allegations toward the youngest child. There was an older child, not of this relationship, residing in the home of Mr. Matthews. And there was actual disposition from the CPS investigation that there was found to be something occurring in the home of Mr. Matthews. And that older child was not to be allowed alone with any of the children. There were devices put on the doors in Mr. Matthews' home to alert the parents if that child was going into the other children's rooms. And so Mr. Matthews was ordered to return the children, the children remained in Miss Ribas's possession. And I believe after that, Mr. Matthews filed a motion to modify the suit again, and that was non-suited. And that's one of our pieces of evidence. He non-suited that case in April of 2022. Miss Ribas was diagnosed with a stage 4 type of cancer, and she can testify more in detail about that. She's since been receiving stem cell treatment. She's doing really well. She's currently in quarantine, and she's a teacher at Del Valle Independent School District. And so she's having to teach remotely, and she's going to be out of quarantine, I believe, in January. I'm not sure. It might be even sooner. So she has had her mother residing with her and helping her with taking the children to school, picking them up from school. But she still resides there at the home with the children. And so the court heard evidence about that as well. Mr. Matthews, since that prior court proceeding, he has since moved. He's now residing in Kyle. And so that was part of the evidence that we presented as well, was that his residence is so far from Del Valle Independent School District that the children are losing an hour of sleep to get up earlier to make it to school on time. And so that was part of our reasoning as well, that it is not in their best interest to be getting up and trying to get to school on time from his residence. Mr. Matthews testified that that older child is no longer residing in his residence. And so that I think alleviated the court's fears about ongoing potential abuse there. But that is still a concern for Ms. Ribas. So we also did not feel it was in the best interest of the children to be interviewed. We do think that part of the reasoning is that these children have been receiving therapy. Some of them are receiving ongoing therapy. Some of them are on medication, have ADHD. So we were asking that they not be interviewed. I think if they are going to be interviewed, if the court determines that that is necessary, that they be interviewed in person. And the court will hear further evidence as to some of the concerns that Ms. Ribas has for the children while they're in Mr. Matthews' primary possession. And then I guess one of the issues that the court also determined, if the court leaves the children with Mr. Matthews, Judge Matthews Rodriguez determined that there was no child support. So we just want to make sure we did not include that issue. We think it's not an issue to be readdressed at this time, since there was no counter de novo filed by the opposing party.
Your Honor, you're on mute?
You may proceed now.
Okay. So as Ms. Martinez has stated, there were previous cases. There were some competing enforcement cases. I'd like to provide a little bit of background for that. The enforcement case that my client had brought in April 2021 was because Ms. Ribas had denied him possession from September 2016 to February 2018.
Sorry, counsel.
There was also
I missed a word. In April 2021 was because Ms. Ribas had been, and then I missed that next word. About possession.
Yes, had denied him possession
Thank you.
from 2016 through February 2018. There was also previously a competing enforcement case against my client in around March 2020. I anticipate that might be brought up in this case as it was in the last one. But the reasoning for that, and Mr. Matthews can testify to this, is because he was advised by his attorney at the time to keep the children away from Ms. Ribas. Our understanding was that Ms. Ribas wasn't similarly advised when she denied him possession. They had agreed to mutually non-suit their cases. Reason being that CPS case with Mr. Matthews' eldest son, and also Mr. Matthews was aware of mom's health complications. This wasn't an issue that he wanted her to deal with. So they mutually decided to non-suit without prejudice so that she could take care of her health and they could wrap up the CPS issues. Again, regarding that eldest son, he is since July 2024, he's been living in Indiana. Mr. Matthews will testify that he doesn't anticipate that the son will come back to Texas to live with him. And if he were to ever visit the son, it would always be in Indiana. Today, we're asking that the court maintain the orders in the previous hearing that Mr. Matthews be still given the right, exclusive right to designate the children's primary residence. The main reason and a crucial part of our case is allowing the judge to speak to the kids. The kids were the ones who went to Mr. Matthews to ask him to switch possession. These kids are mature, the eldest one being age 17. We have a 15-year-old, and last we have the 12-year-old. They've been consistent in asking to switch, and they would be the ones to best be able to inform you about mom's aggressive discipline tactics. Mr. Matthews over the years has also had bad communication with mom. She hadn't communicated with him regarding the kids' school events, the kids' counseling sessions, and it had always been a struggle for him to communicate regarding the kids. Mom has also at times communicated to dad through the kids rather than through text or app close or family wizard. And he's also concerned that the mom isn't keeping up with the youngest medication for ADHD. Since that ruling on October 25th, 2024, the kids have been living with dad. The eldest sons, they have their own rooms, and Rebecca sharing with her youngest stepsister. Dad has been able to get them to school just fine. And he proposes that his ability to designate the primary residence remain the same.
All right. Okay, so let's call the first witness and get started.
Okay. Would you like the move-in to call the first witness, or would I?
Yes, this is her de novo, so yes. I mean, there's no competing de novo that was filed, right, Ms. Redolosa, excuse me, I'm gonna mess up your name all morning. I only see one request for de novo, and it's Miss Martinez's.
Yes, Your Honor, that's right.
Okay, all right, let's call the first witness.
Thank you. Your Honor, I will call Miss Ribas.
Okay, Ms. Ribas, you've already been sworn in. So go ahead and unmute yourself. And as a reminder, listen to the question first before you answer so we can get a clean record. Thank you.
And Your Honor, just for the court's information, Miss Redolosa and I have exchanged exhibit lists, and she has indicated that she doesn't have any problem with any of our exhibits. And I've gone through her exhibits, and I am fine with P1, P2, P3. I believe P7, P8, and P10.
All right, let's do it this way because my court reporter has taught me how she wants it done, and so I try to follow her advice. Go ahead and offer the exhibits that you want, and then I'll ask if there's any objections, and if there aren't, they come in. That way it's a very clear indication on the record.
Okay, and do you want us to do that in during our questioning?
No, let's go ahead. If you already have agreements and you've conferred, which is what we always prefer, we thank you for that. Go ahead and offer them now. And if it's already agreed, you can offer it. I'll ask if there's any objections. And if there aren't, they'll come in.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I've marked them as R because we were the respondent initially, and still today, I mean, we're the respondent in their request to change the conservator. So I've marked them R1 through R13, and at this time, we would move to introduce what's been marked and uploaded to the box as R1 through R13.
Okay, give me a moment to put eyes on it. I don't like to admit anything until I can, of course, put my eyes on it and make sure I have it in the system. All right, let's see here. They're in box, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, one moment. This is AG. Okay. Okay, I see R1 through R13. R1 through R13 has been offered. Are there any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Okay, R1 through R13 are admitted. Ms. Redolosa, which ones do you want to offer?
We offer a petitioner's exhibit 1 through 10.
All right, give me 1 second, make sure I find them. Okay, are there any objections to the P1 through P10?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, P7, P8, and P10, we believe are not at issue.
Okay, so
Okay, so you object to, what's the objection to 7, 8, and 10? They're just not at, you don't have an agreement on 7, 8, and 10.
Yes, Your Honor. And we don't have agreement on 4, 5, or 6 either.
Okay.
sorry, can I clarify that?
Yeah,
So-
I'm a little confused now because that's a lot of them. Go ahead.
That is, okay, so the objection is to exhibits 4, 5, and 6. Are there any objections to any of the other exhibits, or is it only those 3?
4, 5, and 6, we object. 7 and 8, we believe are not relevant, as the issue of child support is not at issue. And then P10, I believe that is also not, it's irrelevant or not relevant, as child support is not an issue.
Okay, so go ahead and offer the ones that are agreed upon, Ms. Redolosa, so we can get them in.
Okay, let me just figure that. Okay, so we offer petitioner's exhibit 1, 2, 3, and 9, as agreed upon.
Excuse
Okay, I'm sorry, you're cutting off. You're offering 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, and 9, as agreed upon exhibits.
Not 4. I thought 4 was also 1.
I believe 4 was objected to,
Okay.
unless
Okay, so you're offering
Yes.
1, 2, 3, and 9. Correct?
yes, at this time. Yes.
Okay. Any objections to petitioners 1, 2, 3, and 9?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. P1, 2, 3, and 9 are admitted, and I have eyes on them, so I see it. All right, thank you. Now that we have that out of the way, Ms. Martinez, you may begin.
Ms. Ribas, Please state your full name for the record.
Laura Christina Ribas.
Okay. And can you please state the names of your children and their ages for the court?
Yes.
Okay. And the older child is a child not of this relationship. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And then they've already been introduced as evidence. R3, R4, R5 are all photographs of you and the children. Is that correct?
Yes.
And some of those photographs are photographs of your home
Yes.
and photographs of the children's rooms.
Yes.
Okay. And what's been marked as R11, can you tell the court what that's a photograph of? And let me go ahead and share here.
Yes, feel free to share screen.
Okay, can you tell the court what this is a photograph of?
That's a photograph of my children, all four of them. After their play, they did Newsies with Shine On Performing Arts
And when was this performance?
in May,
Of this year?
yes, of this year.
Okay,
They
and
all did it together.
all right. And can you go from left to right and tell the court who is which child?
There's Evan, and then Alex, and then Luna, and then Rebecca.
Okay. Are they all in theater?
Yes.
Okay. And which child is in competing in theater in school?
Alex.
Okay. And is Alex the one with the suspenders on?
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell the court like what was available at or what is available at his school regarding theater?
Well, they have a theater program, and it's a pretty good program. Our schools, our fine arts department got an award recently for Del Valley. They have a lot of good programs for the kids to excel. They have early college. They have AP classes. They make them take the PSAT so they can prepare for college, or they have trades that they can learn. So if they decide not to go to college, that they get some skills that they can use to get a job, and they have work study programs. So
Was one of your concerns about changing which parent had the right to determine their primary residence? Were you concerned about Mr. Matthews potentially changing their schools?
yes, I'm concerned about their schools getting changed. Alex is almost going to graduate. He's going to be a senior next year. He's the choir officer. He's has lead roles in his theater program plays. Evan is also he has anxiety, and he doesn't make friends easily, so his friends are there. And I know I asked him because I was thinking about moving, and he's like, oh, I don't want to change schools because I have my friends there and I don't make friends easily. And these are kids that they've been going to school with since pre-K, and a lot of his friends are he's known for a long time.
Did Mr. Matthews, when did he move?
I think it was 2017, shortly after.
Has he been living in Kyle since 2017?
I can't be sure on the exact date. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
Can I interrupt just for one issue? The underlying order that was modified by Judge Matthews Rodriguez was the order in suit to modify the parent-child relationship from March 30th, 2016, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
And I believe the hearing was in February. Yeah, February 24th, 2016 was that.
Yes, yes, and there was an order, but then you didn't come back to court until you went to Judge Matthews Rodriguez on the 25th of October 2024. And so those modifications she made are temporary order modifications of the 2016 order.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and your request is that it stay the way that it was in 2016 and that no changes be made.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Well, Your Honor, I guess there are some changes that Judge Matthews Rodriguez made, which I think we didn't de novo, like that they use app close, that they, there's some other things in there that we did not de novo.
Okay, so at some point later on, I want you to go through her letter ruling with me to point out to me exactly which number items you're wanting me to look at. I'm looking at your proposed disposition of issues, but I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything.
Okay.
All right.
Miss Ribas, are you currently employed?
Yes.
And are you employed through the Del Valle Independent School District?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm a teacher. I teach 4th grade.
Okay. Are you able to do that remotely at this time?
No.
Okay. Can you tell the court why you are not able to do that position at this time?
I am on quarantine. I had a stem cell treatment and it killed my immune system, so I have to I can't get any vaccinations until 6 months after the transplant. And so I need to get every vaccination from when I was a baby all over again.
Okay. And when will you be out of quarantine?
December 2nd.
Okay. And when will you be able to return to the classroom?
That's when I'm returning back to work.
Okay, great. So how often do you get tested to see if the stem cell treatment is actually working?
They've tested they're going to test my blood on Monday, and it's just they're going to wait till January to check do a PET scan to check on the cancer.
Okay. But at this time, since your treatment, what is your prognosis?
There isn't really a prognosis right now. They're waiting to do the PET scan to see if the cancer's gone.
Oh, okay. Were you previously, though, getting tested on a weekly basis?
Yes.
And is that ongoing or no?
No.
Okay. But every week that you were getting tested, were your results positive?
Yes.
And positive, when I say positive, can you explain to the court what that means?
That my blood counts are going up.
The court referred to those final orders issued back in February 24th, 2016. In those prior orders, you were granted the exclusive right to determine the children's primary residence, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that's been introduced into evidence and part of the court's file as R6. What type of possession schedule did you and Mr. Matthews have in place that's different, right, from the standard possession schedule?
He has extended visitation.
Right, but were you all doing first, third, and fifth, or which weekends were you doing?
First, third, and fifth.
With Mr. Matthews?
Yes.
Okay, so weren't you all doing, I thought you all were doing something different because of the other children in his home, that you were doing second and fourth.
Oh, I get them the second and fourth weekend.
Instead of first, third, and fifth?
Yes.
Okay, is that an agreement that you and he made, and is this after Judge Matthews' order?
Yes, and I would also get them the fifth weekend of the month after the order that she put.
Okay, and part of Judge Matthews' order gave the children the option to come on Thursdays. Have the children been coming on Thursdays?
Alex came last Thursday, but they did not come.
Okay. Have the three of them come on any of those Thursdays?
No, just Alex came last Thursday because he needed a haircut.
Did you tell Mr. Matthews about your diagnosis at the time that you were diagnosed?
Yes,
And were you diagnosed with follicular lymphoma in February of 2022?
yes,
And then he non-suited his petition to modify in April of 2022. Is that correct?
that is correct.
And that's been introduced as R7. Now, can you tell the court, I want to address some of the issues that were brought up by the opposing counsel in her opening. Do you feel that you and Mr. Matthews are able to communicate?
Yes,
In fact, is one of your exhibits, R9, are those texts between you and Mr. Matthews?
yes,
Okay, I just want to, are these texts between you and Mr. Matthews?
yes,
Okay. And you all are able to communicate regarding activities of the children and I guess about this haircut that you said you all organized. Is that correct?
yes, that's correct.
Okay. And do you think that it is true that you're using the children to communicate with Mr. Matthews?
No,
Okay. And then she also brought up an issue of medication. And was this an issue that was brought up at the prior hearing?
no,
Um, have you had issues with Mr. Matthews surrounding medication?
yes, he's lost their medication. One fell in the car because they're taking it on their drive up, and he lost the pill. The pill got lost in the car. Um, he medication's gone missing when I've given it to him. We
So, and have you addressed this with Mr. Matthews?
yes,
Um, who who between you and Mr. Matthews is the one who schedules their doctor's appointments?
I do.
Who between you and Mr. Matthews picks up their medication?
I do.
And since you've been quarantined, is your mother picking up their medication?
Yes,
Um, and when you have doctor's appointments for the children, do you communicate that to Mr. Matthews?
yes.
And does he attend?
For the most part, no. Occasionally he does.
Okay. If you could, one of the other issues that was brought up by the opposing counsel was your disciplining style. And I guess if you could, tell the court how you discipline the children, what your method of discipline is.
Um, well, if they've done something wrong, which is very rare, they're normally really good kids, but if they do something wrong, I'll ground them, or if they're not passing their classes, they'll have some time away from their electronics and phones. Um,
Can you compare your parenting style to Mr. Matthews' parenting style?
I know I'm a little more strict on bedtime because they feel like they need a routine with their ADHD and their medication, and I know he lets them stay up late. Um, I've gotten text messages from Rebecca at 10 o'clock at night, um, asking for more time on her phone, and she said she was out and like she should be in bed because she has to wake up early to go to school the next day. Um,
Which child has ADHD?
um, Rebecca and Evan.
So two of them do?
Yes.
And are they both on medication?
Yes. And Evan also has anxiety medication because he has anxiety.
Okay. Um, do you believe that it is not in their best interest to be brought to the courthouse to meet with judges?
No, I don't feel that it is in their best interest.
How do the children react to your parenting style versus Mr. Matthews' parenting style?
I know they get upset that, they have to go to bed or they get a little, they want to stay up. I don't know how they react to his parenting style.
Do you believe that his parenting style may play a part in why they want to reside there versus in your home?
Yes, because he's not very strict with them. If they doesn't look at their grades, doesn't follow up with their school stuff, isn't really involved with their um, things, their activities.
So, what is your concern, if you could explain to the court, about Rebecca primarily residing at Mr. Matthews' residence?
Well, a lot of the time that she's over there, she goes over to the neighbor's house. And I know one time I went to take Evan his medicine because it was forgotten, and he didn't even know where Rebecca was. Um, and she was at the neighbor's house, and but the neighbors, they have like it's a hoarders type of a thing in their yard where I'm scared for her safety that she's over there and unsupervised, and or I don't even know if she's supervised over there. So, but I've called her on weekends and she's not at her dad's house, she's at the neighbor's house.
And can, just for time frame, what you were just describing, are those things that have occurred since the court's last ruling, or even prior to that?
Even prior and since. And
So both.
yes, and she comes back really dirty. Her clothes are very dirty. Um, so
And what about Evan? What is your concern about him residing primarily at Mr. Matthews' home?
he has a hard time waking up in the morning, and he needs his rest. I'm also a little concerned about their food and their dietary stuff. They go out to eat a lot to fast food restaurants, so they don't get the fruits and vegetables that they need. A lot of the time they come back and they're constipated, or um, I've had a lot of issues with that to where I had to take Rebecca to the doctor.
And Alex, what is your concern about him being primarily at Mr. Matthews' home?
This same with his eating and sleep, and his school is just far away. He has a lot of activities and things that he does. So,
And during the last hearing, you were asked about an outcry by Alex. And can you tell the court what the outcry was and when it occurred?
it occurred while I was in the hospital. I was talking to him. He said he
Okay,
wanted
hold
to.
on. Sorry, but
Okay.
you said it occurred when you were in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a time frame, what month, what year?
In October of this year.
Okay, October of this year, you're in the hospital. And how are you communicating with Alex? Over the phone or?
Yes, over the phone. He was talking to me about the High School Musical play that he auditioned for, and he was really disappointed that he didn't get the part that he wanted. And he had wanted Ryan or Troy, and they gave him the father part. And so he was just really disappointed, and he had said that he wanted to kill himself. And had my mom, I talked to my mom and had him call the suicide hotline so he could talk to somebody about how he was feeling. And then I checked in with my mom again after was done, and she said he was doing okay. So,
And Alex, I guess he called the hotline while he was in possession of your mom. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay. And does he have a counselor?
Not at this time.
Okay. Which children have counselors at this time?
Rebecca and Evan.
Okay. And are there counselors at the school, or are they outside therapists?
They are at the school, and they pull them during their elective times so they don't miss out in their core classes.
And how often do they get counseling there at school?
Once a week.
Okay. And after Alex made that outcry, did he receive anything else, any other type of treatment?
He talked to one of the school counselors.
Okay. And since Mr. Matthews non-suited his petition to modify back in April of 2022, did he talk to you about wanting to change their primary residence prior to filing this petition to modify?
No,
Okay. Did he ever call you and say, something's really bad. We need to change their residence. They need to come and live with me and Kyle.
no,
Have you signed up for the app close?
yes,
Your mom, you said, is residing with you and has helped you with the children. Is that correct?
that is correct.
Okay. And what was your mom's prior position?
She was a teacher.
Is she retired at this
She
time?
is retired.
And what type of teacher was she?
She taught math in the middle school, and she's taught first grade and third grade and fourth and fifth grade.
And was she able to assist the children while the children are residing there in your residence?
Yes,
Who also makes all the dental appointments for the children?
I do.
Are you asking the court, and I want to share, let me see if I can pull that up. Hold on for just a second. Okay, I want to show you the court's ruling previously, okay? Just so
Okay.
we can go through this with the court. So you do want to remain joint managing conservator with Mr. Matthews, is that correct?
That is correct.
But you want to retain the exclusive right to designate their primary residence.
Yes,
Okay. And the prior court order, did that also have the geographical restriction of Travis County and the contiguous counties?
yes, I did.
So you want to leave that the same as well?
Yes,
Okay. And then you do not agree that Mr. Matthews, should have the exclusive right to receive child support, correct? You want to leave it that you're the one receiving child support.
yes,
Let's see here. And then this possession schedule.
Sorry to interrupt, but on number 1,
Mhm.
as compared to the underlying orders, the 2016 orders has mother with the exclusive right to determine the primary residence of the child. and has her receiving child support.
That's correct, Your Honor. And we don't want that to change.
Okay, thank you.
And then, of course, Ms. Rebus, you do not want the underlying order regarding possession and access to change either. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so essentially, if
And let's talk about that. The underlying order has father getting standard possession. Let's go there. It looks like he has under 100 miles, weekends, first, third, and fifth Fridays at 6 p.m. till Sunday.
actually, it looks like it's an expanded standard. It's on page 8. So it's first, third, and fifth from the time they're dismissed until they resume after the weekend.
I see. I see on page 9, Thursdays after during the regular school, beginning when school is dismissed and ending at the time it resumes on Friday. And it's from dismissal of school. When on weekends that don't occur during the school term, that's when it's at 6 p.m. But it's from school to school. So he has expanded standard is what he
Yes.
had under the 2016.
Yes, Your Honor.
Got it. Thank you.
Mhm.
And
just
I'm
looking-
gonna ask one more question.
Okay.
Right now, what are the schools the children attend? Ms. Rivas?
They attend, Evan and Alex attend, and Rebecca attend middle school.
Okay, so and I want to ask again, those are schools that are zoned for you, right, Ms. Riva?
That is correct.
Okay, and then I noticed in Judge Matthew Rodriguez's order that in her order, it says that the children shall maintain the same enrollment and attendance in their current schools for the 2024 and 25 academic year. So she didn't change the kids' schools.
No,
All right, now,
that leaves next year that he would be able to change them.
well, it doesn't look like right, okay, understood. Now, what are the schools, Mr. Matthews, how far away are you from school? What's the drive for you?
Using the toll roads, I'm 35 minutes away from the middle school, and then the high school is right down the road from the middle school.
Okay, so about 35 minutes. And how far away are you from Miss Rivas's residence?
30 minutes.
Okay, Miss Rivas, how far are you from middle school? And in
About
your-
a mile.
About a mile. And when the children were in your residence, were they taking the school bus?
No, my mom has been taking them to school and
Okay.
picking them up.
But there is a school bus route available for these schools too, right?
No, they're close enough to walk.
I see. When you're that close, there's no school bus route.
Yeah,
Understood.
yeah.
Understood. Okay. Thank you. You may proceed.
Ms. Rebus, was R10 also an exhibit that demonstrated, let me just share it real quick. R10, an exhibit demonstrating from Mr. Matthews' home to the school. And I guess this is demonstrating either fifth, and this was at a specific time, leaving at 7 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yes.
But this exhibit avoided tolls. So, but this exhibit demonstrated 54 minutes or 45 minutes if you had the 2 stops for the other school. Correct?
Yes, and also when they get picked up, they're sitting in the car through traffic for at least an hour, because going to Kyle from the school at about 4:30 or 5 o'clock, they're hitting all kinds of traffic. I've talked to Rebecca, and she's like a couple of times, and she's so sleepy. She's told me she keeps falling asleep in the car on the way home. And then she's got homework to do, and so she's exhausted. And
How are the kids doing in school?
Right now, they're not doing very well. They're all failing at least two or three subjects.
Was that
Except for Alex, I think he's only failing one, but I think he might have brought it up already.
okay? And was this occurring before they went over? Do you think them going and residing primarily with Mr. Matthews affects their grades? And if you think that affects their grades, in what way?
I think it affects their grades because they're not having time to do their assignments, because by the time they get home and have dinner and what have you, it's not happening. Also, I don't think he's in contact with the teachers, and he's messaged on comments that I've sent to him that he didn't know, that the teacher didn't tell him anything. And I talked about, the teacher was telling me that Rebecca wasn't focused, that her medicine wasn't working, and I made a doctor's appointment for her so she could have her medicine changed. And he's like, well, the teacher didn't tell me anything. And it's like, well, because I messaged the teacher and said, why is she failing? What's going on? How can I help her? So, but I took the initiative to speak to the teacher.
Which subject was that in?
That was her English teacher.
And which teacher? What's the teacher's name?
I think it's Aros.
And did
Sorry, the
you?
name again?
Hold on. Well, Aros, it's her English teacher.
Aldup? I'm sorry, I'm not understanding.
Can we? It's okay. Let me move on. I'm sorry. But did you communicate that to Mr. Matthews?
Yes.
Okay. And what was his response when you communicated that to him?
I don't think he responded to that.
I want to get us back to Judge Matthews' decision and point out that you were not asking this provision under number 4. You're asking for that to remain in place, correct? The Mr. Matthews is prohibited from causing or allowing any unsupervised contact between the children and Mr. Ian Barger. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And of course, you're wanting number 5 to stay in place as well if the court leaves the children there with Mr. Matthews. Is that correct?
What is number 5? I can't see it. I'm sorry.
It's okay that they stay in the schools that they're in for this academic year.
Yes.
And then you're also not asking the court to review that you all use app close.
Well, I know I'm using it. I don't know that he's using it because I haven't seen him put anything in it.
Did you sign on prior to November 1st?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And you want to use that. Have you tried communicating with Mr. Matthews via the app close?
I've put in some their doctor's appointments and in there to make him aware of them.
All right. And to date, have we been provided a draft of those temporary orders issued by the court? We have not, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Your Honor, at this time, I will pass the witness.
Thank you. Ms. Redolosa, you may proceed.
Ms. Ribas, you're aware of our motion for the judge to confer with the children?
Can you repeat the question?
You're aware of Mr. Matthews' motion for the judge to confer with the children?
Yes.
And you understand it's entirely a possibility that the judge will be able to speak to all 3 of them about what we've been talking about today?
Yes.
And you also understand that you have sworn under oath to tell the truth in your testimony?
Yes.
Okay. I want to discuss your discipline of the children, I understand you spoke a little bit about it with your attorney. Um, is have you ever lost your temper with the children in the process of disciplining them?
No,
You've never yelled at the children in an attempt to discipline them?
not that I can recall.
You've never insulted them or called them names?
No,
You've never guilted them with your illness,
no,
and you've never yelled at them in an attempt for them to favor you as opposed to Mr. Matthews.
no.
You spoke briefly about that outcry that Alex had. Did you say when that was?
It was in October.
Was that October of this year?
Yes,
Um, during that time, was that discussion over a phone call with him?
yes.
Okay. Do you remember about how long that phone call was?
No, I do not.
Was it about an hour?
I don't think so.
Okay. And Alex was you said that he was discussing his position at a play.
Yes, he was. He had auditioned for the High School Musical, and he was really disappointed that he did not get the part that he wanted.
Um, and at no time did you call him a failure during that call.
No,
Um, did you make him call the suicide prevention hotline?
yes, because I was concerned about what he had said.
You said that Alex doesn't have a counselor at this time,
No,
but that he talked to his school counselor.
yes,
Have you had previous concerns with him committing suicide or ideating about suicide?
yes, and when he was in middle school.
And after that phone call, were any other steps taken for him to get counseling?
He was seeing a counselor at the time when he was in middle school.
I'm sorry, I meant in October 2024, after that phone call, were there any other attempts for him to join counseling?
No,
Was there a reason for that?
um, issue was pretty much resolved.
Was that something that the school counselor had? What was how did you know that the issue was resolved?
Well, because he talked to the counselor, they didn't recommend him getting more counseling. They didn't tell me that he needed more counseling, and he's been okay. His attitude and his demeanor, I haven't seen him.
I want to move over to Evan, the second eldest child. Is it true that you've called the police on Evan at least once?
Yes, because he was out of control. He had hit
I'm
his
gonna,
brother.
I'm gonna object as to,
That was a long time ago.
Right. Yeah, that's what.
I'll give it a time frame. In 2023, did you call the police on Evan so that he had to be taken to juvenile hall?
I don't recall the date. I'm sorry.
And last year? You don't recall if it happened last year?
It didn't happen last year.
Okay. All right. I'm going to move over to communication with Dad. You had an exhibit up. I believe there was our respondents exhibit 9, and those were texts that were exchanged with Mr. Matthews. Do you remember that exhibit, or do you want me to pull that up for you?
Can you please pull it up again?
Sure. Give me 1 second here.
Do you want me to pull it up?
Yes, that would be helpful.
Okay, hold on.
Do you remember when you had sent these texts to Jonathan?
It has dates on there.
I believe it says Tuesday. Would that be referring to this Tuesday, last Tuesday, or sometime within the month?
Hold on. Probably last Tuesday.
Okay. And the second text, was that also a fairly recent text when you communicated about, I believe it was a school event?
Yes,
Do you remember when that text was sent? When those texts were sent?
it has a stamp on it as well.
Okay. Um, just one moment.
I
I
just
think
can't
it's.
see. I can't see it. The screen's like really small.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know why it's, I've clicked on it. Let me see.
Oh, okay. Can you see that?
Yes, I can't like read the.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Here. And that does that date read November 7th?
Yes,
And this was this year?
yes.
Okay.
But I have like
I know
lots of
you've
text. If you need more evidence of text, I mean, I've logs of text that I've exchanged with Jonathan. We communicate pretty frequently.
I Mystery Bus. So is it true that those are the only two exhibits of text messages you'd exchange with Mr. Matthews for today's hearing?
Yes.
Okay. Is it true that it wasn't until this school year that you included Mr. Matthews on the pickup list for school?
All he has to do is take the court order to the school and he can put himself on the pickup list. It is not my responsibility to put him on the pickup list. It's his responsibility to put himself on the pickup list.
It was just a yes or no question. Did it take until this school year for him to be included in the pickup list?
No.
So he was in. I'm sorry. Was he included before this year?
I
This school
don't
year?
I don't know. It's not my responsibility. Again, it's not my responsibility to put him on the pickup list. That's his responsibility as a parent. So if he wasn't on there, that is not my doing.
Is it true that it was your mother who ended up adding him to that list instead of you?
No.
Okay. Do you think it's in the children's best interest that their parents are communicating about the kids' school events and needs?
Yes, and I communicate with him and I remind him about stuff.
So it is in the children's best interest that you can.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, counsel.
So within.
Time out. You're breaking up. I didn't hear your question.
Correct. I didn't hear either.
Okay. Hold on. Wait, what was the last question?
The last answer was yes, I communicate with him and I remind him about stuff. And then I heard so, and you broke up.
Okay. So do you think it's in the children's best interest that the parents are communicating about the children's needs?
Yes.
With that in mind, do you communicate to dad about the kids' school events?
Yes.
Has he ever asked you to put you on that pickup list? To put him on that pickup list, sorry?
He did one time when he was trying to pick them up, but for the most part, he wouldn't pick them up from school.
Mr. Ubas, I'll ask that you answer only what I'm asking. Do you communicate to dad about the children's counseling needs?
Yes.
So
They had count. Well, yes.
Okay. Have you ever asked the children to deliver messages to their father on your behalf?
No.
Never? Okay. Regarding the children's school performance, under the most recent orders this no hearing is for, when did the kids move in with Mr. Matthews?
On the 31st?
On October 31st? Okay.
Yes.
So in between October 31st and November 20th, that's today, did you check the children's grades?
Yes.
And you knew what their grades were before they moved in with Mr. Matthews?
Yes.
And within those, I believe 20 days, was that when the kids ended up failing 2 to 3 subjects and Alex failing 1 subject? That
Yes.
happened in 20 days? Yes? Is that a
Yes.
yes? Okay. The kids are, how old are the kids?
Alex is 17. Evan is 15. Rebecca is 12.
And, you know, I believe any parent would say this, but do you believe
Hello?
Well,
that your kids are smart?
I didn't hear the question. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, we're having internet connections over here. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
yes,
Okay.
but you seem to be breaking up quite a bit. Your connection's not the greatest.
Okay.
So, the last question was, and you know, I believe any parent would say this, and then you broke up.
Okay. You believe that your kids are smart for their age?
Yes, they're very smart.
Are they coming to an age when they're able to make their own decisions?
Sorry, are they coming to what?
To an age where they're making their own decisions?
They still need a lot of guidance.
Okay. Alex he's getting ready to attend college? Is that correct?
He still has another year.
Okay, but he's on that precipice. He's about to enter that new stage of life.
Yes.
If the kids were to decide to stay with Mr. Matthews, you don't think it's in their best interest to do so,
No.
and you don't think that they're able to make that decision for themselves.
No.
You don't think that they're mature enough to decide which parent they want to live with.
I just don't think that they know exactly what's in their best interest at this time.
And there was some discussion about the prior motions for enforcements on both sides. I just wanted to clarify. Is it true that you denied the father possession from September 2016 through February 2018?
A lot of the dates were wrong that he had claimed. So, but there were some dates that I did not allow him possession
Okay.
because I was fearful for their safety.
And you're under court order at that time to give him possession on those days that you denied him possession?
Again, I was fearful for their safety.
So is that a yes? You were under court order?
Can you repeat the question again?
Is that a yes? Were you under a court order to give him possession on those days that you denied him possession?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We passed the witness.
All right, Ms. Martinez, anything else
Um,
for this witness?
not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may call your next witness, and Ms. Rivas, you can put yourself on mute at this time.
Your Honor, my next witness will be Mr. Matthews.
All right, Mr. Matthews, you're already under oath. So unmute yourself, and Ms. Martinez, you may proceed.
Mr. Matthews, your attorney has alluded to the fact that one of the reasons you filed this request to change where the children primarily reside was because you were not on a pickup list. Is that correct?
No,
Okay, so that's not one of the reasons, correct?
correct.
Okay, and on that subject, though, when did you find out that you were not on a pickup list?
I always knew I was on a pickup list. She told me I was never on the pickup list.
Well, what steps did you take to go to the school to put yourself on the pickup list?
I called the school 3 times between 2016 and the pandemic, and they said that I was not able to put myself on the list.
Did you ever go in person?
No,
You never went in person and you never took your court order to the school?
no.
Okay. So you also, I guess, one of the allegations is that one of the reasons that you filed this petition to modify and to ask that you have the right to determine their primary residence was due to her disciplining style. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so has her disciplining style, has that always been your, I guess, have you always been objecting to that?
Yes.
Okay, so it was even before the last petition to modify that you filed back in 2022, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that hasn't changed
No,
in your mind, correct?
it's gotten worse.
Um, but is there's nothing that you have called CPS about, correct?
I have called CPS.
To file a case regarding disciplining styles since 2016?
There's been multiple CPS cases called by me and others
Against you or against Miss Rebus?
against Miss Rebus.
So, and none of those CPS investigations has resulted in a safety plan involving Miss Rebus, correct?
Miss Rebus was under a safety plan in March of 2020.
I'm going to share the screen for a second here. Do you recognize R12?
Give me 1 second. Let me zoom this in real quick.
So there's a way to, here, I'll zoom it there. Is this your signature here where it says other party? Or I guess, I'm not sure if that's,
No, that's not my signature.
okay. So, but do you recall this safety plan? Let me show you page 3. And I guess is this the safety plan maybe that you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay. And okay. And this is the safety plan that you referred to.
Yes.
And this was way back in 2020, correct?
Correct.
Okay, this was again prior to your last petition to modify, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'm also going to show you what's been marked as R13.
Thank you. You're ahead of me. I was about to ask for the disposition. Thank you.
Now this looks like it's a disposition of a CPS investigation, and it's also dated 2020, correct?
Yes.
Now, and this is involving Ian, the child, the older child that was residing in your residence, correct?
Correct.
And this disposition had reason to believe that there was abuse towards Rebecca, your daughter, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And is that the reason that Miss Rebus was concerned about Rebecca's safety in your home?
I'm sorry, ask that again?
Is that the reason that Miss Rebus was concerned about her daughter's safety in your home with being
Yes.
there, correct?
Yes.
And that has been introduced into evidence as well. And this, again, was prior to your motion to modify that you filed back in 2020 and that you non-suited in 2022, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So there have been no other CPS investigations since then, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Um, have you signed up for AppClose?
Yes.
Okay, when did you sign up?
October 31st.
Okay, so, but you're not responding to the postings that Miss Rebus has made on that app?
I've not been notified of any postings that she's had after I gave her the link that I was given by AppClose.
To school events that she's posted, you're not?
I have not received anything.
Okay, and have you posted any communication to her on AppClose?
I have added calendar events for Alex's Monday events.
Mm-hmm.
I was under the assumption she had not signed up as she keeps texting me.
Okay, so anyway, but you guys you're communicating by text as well, is that correct? Okay, and so tell me what you are doing to help your children with their homework and to deal with these failing grades.
So Rebecca's homework that was assigned yesterday, that was due at the end of the week, is already completed. Alex has caught up on all of his work, and I'm working with Evan to figure out why he's failing 3 classes, where the misstep is, and encouraging him to reach out to his teachers, and actually all 3, encouraging them to reach out to their teachers and find a resolution plan. And if they can't find a resolution plan, let me know, and then I'll start getting involved. But I want to teach them to start handling these issues themselves, because that is going to be a life skill that they need.
Well, so Mr. Matthews, are you telling us that you have not reached out to the teachers? Is that what you're saying?
Not yet.
Okay. Do you have any plans to move closer to the school district?
Not active plans, but anything's up in the air.
So if you did not move come school year 2025, 2026, was your plan to move their school to a school there in Hayes County?
That would be a discussion between me and the kids and find out what they would like to do. If they want to stay in Valley, they'll stay in.
How many people are residing in your residence at this time?
8.
8 people?
Correct.
And who are those 8 people?
Myself, my wife, my mom, the 3 kids of this case, and my wife's 2 kids.
And how old are those other 2 children?
Andrea's 13. There's another Alexander. Just for clarification, we call him Baby A. He's 11.
Okay. And do the children that are the subjects of this case, do they have their separate rooms or are they sharing rooms?
Andrea, my stepdaughter, and Rebecca, the daughter of this suit, share a room.
Okay. And otherwise, they all have separate rooms?
Correct.
Rebecca, there's concern on Miss Rebus's part about the neighbor. Do you allow Rebecca to go to the neighbor's home?
Yes.
Have you been to the neighbor's home?
I have not. My wife has.
So you've not been to their home to see where you're allowing your daughter to go?
I have not.
And is it true that she spends a lot of time at this neighbor's home? Yes or no?
No.
That's your testimony?
That's my testimony.
What's her friend's name that she visits?
Bethany.
Say that again?
Bethany.
Bethany?
Yes.
So it's your testimony that your daughter does not spend a lot of time with Bethany?
No. That's not my testimony. My testimony is she does not spend a lot of time with Bethany at Bethany's house.
Okay. And is it true that she returns after spending time with Bethany, soiled, dirty?
She's dirty, not soiled. She's dirty from playing outside.
Okay. And do you think it's just from playing outside?
Yeah.
Okay. Does Rebecca have a current counselor?
Yes.
Okay, is that the school counselor?
That is a counselor from Integral Care that is appointed by Del Valley ISD
Okay. And how often is she seeing her?
every week.
Okay. And what is the reason that she's seeing her on a weekly basis?
That was never disclosed to me
By the counselor?
by the counselor, by Laura.
Have you inquired with the counselor?
I have asked for progress updates from the counselor, says that Becca's doing well.
Did you know that Rebecca believes that she's an animal?
Yes.
Okay. And that she wears a tail?
Yes.
How often does she wear the tail?
She has not worn a tail since she's been over here, and we do not let her out of the house with a tail. That is a behavior that was introduced from Laura's house, and her mom allowed Rebecca to walk out the door with a tail on.
So did you discuss this with you, but you just testified that you have not discussed this with the counselor. Is that correct?
I have not discussed this with the counselor.
Okay. Um, Regarding the medication, have you lost medication while you have had medication in your possession?
A pill has been dropped.
Just one?
As far as my knowledge, just one.
Um, have you had difficulty assuring that the children are taking their medication?
No,
Yes or no?
I said no.
Okay. So when did you feel that it was in your children's best interest to change where they reside? When did you first decide that?
The conversations have always been happening.
No, I'm
Starting
asking when did you make that determination? When did you,
August,
August of this past year?
August of this year,
Of 24.
24.
Okay. And you filed this motion in what month
September
of 24?
of 24.
And when you filed in August of 24, you did not attach an affidavit expressing any immediate concern for the court to take immediate action. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you did not file a motion for the court to confer with the children. Is that correct?
I was under the impression that was taken care of. If it wasn't, then that's correct.
Okay, well, you didn't sign any type of additional document other than your motion or your motion to modify, correct?
I did not.
No separate motion was filed
No.
for the court to confer with your children.
I did not sign anything else. Again, I thought that was all taken care of.
Okay. So in your mind, there was no immediate reason for the court to deal with that until a final hearing. Is that correct?
My understanding was it was going to be dealt with at a temporary hearing.
I'm going to pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, before we do that, I just have a few things I need to clarify. Mr. Matthews, you live in Kyle, correct?
Correct.
All right, what do you do for a living?
I work for Flash Parking. I'm a systems and network admin.
I'm so sorry, I missed that. You work for Flash Parking.
Flash parking, I am a systems and network administrator.
Got it. And generally, what hours do you work?
9:30 to 5,
Okay. And what's your yearly income?
105,000 a year.
Okay. Ms. Rivas, go ahead and unmute yourself. You mentioned you work for Del Valley.
Yes,
Can you tell me what you do in Del Valley?
I'm a fourth grade teacher.
Okay, you're a fourth grade teacher, and so you work the traditional school day hours, and you have the holidays that schools have as well, correct?
That is correct.
Do you tend to work in the summers?
No,
Okay, so you take the summers off.
yes.
Okay. What is your yearly income?
68,000,
Okay.
around there.
And then I just also want to make sure you have health insurance through Del Valley, through your employer.
Yes,
And are the children covered under your insurance or are they covered by Mr. Matthews?
they are covered by my insurance, and I think Mr. Matthews has another insurance on them as well.
Okay, so the kids are very fortunate. They have double coverage.
Yes.
It's really great. Okay, thank you. I just needed to clarify those 2 points. And Ms. Redolosa, you may proceed.
All right, Mr. Matthews, let's, I think this was discussed briefly, but I just wanted to clarify. You currently live in Kyle, Texas, correct?
Correct.
And the kids are currently living with you under the current order?
Correct.
And you drive the kids to school?
Correct.
How long does it take you to drive them to school?
Average trip to the middle school is 35 minutes with toll roads.
And you've been getting them to school on time?
There was one incident where Rebecca was 3 minutes late because of a wreck on the toll road, but that does not happen often.
Okay. And do you anticipate any issues getting them to school and coming back?
No.
Okay. And you also testify that you help them out with homework at home?
Correct.
Okay. I want to go back to the beginning of this case. We filed in September of this year, and you were asked about why you decided to file. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Why you decided to file this motion to modify again?
I've had outcries from all 3 kids.
And what was your how often would they have those outcries?
Every day, every weekend.
About how long was that happening?
The outcries have been happening. They increase in temperature and decrease in temperature. But this past August, the temperature escalated to where I had to take action.
And how did you conclude that it escalated to a point where you had where you needed court intervention?
The desperation in voices.
Okay. Did you ever try to persuade them to stay with you or stay with their mother?
No. I told them whatever, all I want them to do is tell the truth, whatever the truth is.
Okay. Are you worried for their emotional and mental health if they continue to stay with their mother?
I am.
When it was their time to go back into mom's possession, did you ever notice a change in their demeanor?
Their demeanor turned to very solemn, crying. The night before was the kids up, crying, not happy, complaining, just not their normal selves.
And how often would this happen?
Every weekend.
We also discussed about your ability to communicate with mom about the kids. Did you have difficulty communicating with her?
Anytime that there's a doctor's appointment, I'm notified within 12 hours of a scheduled appointment or the day of. The only other times that I'm notified about appointment is when it lands on my time. The instances of where she had to call the police on Evan, I was never notified by her. The instance where Alex had to call the suicide prevention hotline this past October, she never notified me.
So she doesn't notify you about school events or doctor's appointments or counseling for the kids?
No.
I'm going to object, Your Honor. That was not, she's misstating his testimony.
Oh, it was another question. It wasn't I wasn't restating his testimony. Oh, Your Honor, you're
Ask
muted.
the question. I understand. Ask the question again, please.
Yes. So she wouldn't fill you in on school events, on doctor's appointments, and on counseling sessions?
Correct.
Okay. And how would you find out about these events if you ever did?
The kids would tell me.
Does she often communicate with you through the kids?
Yes.
What type of things would she communicate to you?
The needs for money, after the fact medical appointments, after the fact counseling sessions.
Can you talk to me a little bit about that need for money? Did she ask the kids to ask you to, what would she ask for the kids to ask you to pay for?
There was an instance 2 weeks ago
I'm
where
going
Alex.
to object, Your Honor, I guess, as to the hearsay.
All right, you do need to instruct your client on hearsay, Ms. Redolosa.
Okay. Mr. Matthews, avoid any statements said out of court for the truth of their matter. You can talk about your impressions from these conversations. You just can't talk about what somebody else said who's not before this court.
Understood. I've had to give Alex money after my impression was he was denied from his mom.
Okay. And you currently have possession of the kids, correct?
Correct.
And you've been communicating with mom through what venue, what device?
Text messaging.
Okay. And you haven't had a chance to use AppClose yet?
No.
Okay. And if the kids were to remain in your possession, you would keep her in the loop with the kids' events?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Was there a recent incident involving Rebecca's medication?
Yes.
Can you tell me when that was?
That was 2 weeks ago.
Okay. And can you explain what your concern was?
Becca was not being given the correct medication as prescribed on October 16th.
Okay. Well, I'm going to show what's been marked as Petitioner's Exhibit 4. Okay. Can you see that, Mr. Matthews?
I can.
And what is this?
That is Rebecca's medication that she brought over here in November that she told me she was taking. However, she was supposed to be taking another medication.
And that refers to both of these photos?
Yes, it's the same bottle.
Okay. And when were these photos taken?
They were taken 2 days ago.
And is this a fair and accurate depiction of the photos of her medication taken 2 days ago?
Yes.
Okay. We offer Petitioner's Exhibit 4.
Objection.
No objection, Your Honor.
P4 is admitted.
Okay. Mr. Matthews, can you read the date that after date filled in the first photo?
May 15, 2024.
And let's see, it says 0 refills. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And is this medication? Are these two the same bottle?
Yes, they are.
Okay. And this is for what medication?
Dextroamphetamine.
Okay. And you'd also asked Miss Ribas about Rebecca's medication. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you did that through text message?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, hopefully this works. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I'm showing you what's been marked as Petitioner's Exhibit 5. Do you recognize that phone number at the top of the screen?
That is Ms. Rebus's phone number.
That's her phone number. And when was this text dated?
November 4th.
And was that of this year?
Yes.
Okay. And this one? What date?
November 11th.
And this was November 11th and the 12th?
Correct.
And then lastly, this is continuation of that conversation on the 12th?
Correct.
Okay. We offer Petitioner's Exhibit 5.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. P5 is admitted.
Okay. And what did you learn from these conversations, these text messages with mom?
I learned that the medication that she was prescribed on October 16th, 2024, she was not taking. And it is inconclusive due to no answer on if she was ever taking that medication. So when we went to the doctor on November 4th to say that Rebecca's medication was not working, she was not taking the correct medication from the previous visit 2 weeks prior on October 16th.
And you went to pick up her new medication?
My pharmacy did not have the medication available, so I transferred it to the CVS in Del Valle, where Laura picked it up on the 9th, November 9th, 2024.
And so now Rebecca has her updated medication?
She has her updated third medication, yes.
Okay. And your concern is that mom is not keeping up with the kids' medications?
Correct.
Have you been able to follow up on the other two kids' medications? I believe Evan also has ADHD.
Evan's medications have not been changed, and they seem to be working for him. So that's not a concern right now. And Alex is on no medications.
Okay. I want to talk about your current home situation. I think we discussed who you live with currently, and there were other children. Are the children subject to this suit familiar with your other children?
Yes.
How long have they known them?
11 years.
And do they have a good relationship?
Your standard sibling rivalry. Yes, they do.
Your other daughter, she's 13-year-old, yes?
My stepdaughter, yes.
And Rebecca's 12?
Correct.
And they're both relatively close with each other from what
Yes.
you've observed? Okay. Alex and Evan, they have their own rooms?
Correct.
And Rebecca's currently sharing with her stepsister?
Correct.
Okay. I'm showing you what's been marked and previously accepted as Petitioner's Exhibit 9. Can you explain to me what's in this first photo?
This is the girls' room. Andrea's bed is by the wall, by the door, and Rebecca's bed is closer to the camera on the right.
And whose room is this?
This is Evan's room.
And lastly, whose room is this?
That is Alex's room.
Have they had a chance to decorate much since they've been back?
Yes and no. They don't really. The girls want to decorate. The boys, they don't really care to decorate it too much.
Okay, understood. Okay, I want to discuss a little bit about your parenting. How do you address the children's dieting? What sort of things do they eat?
Diet is the dinner is meats, vegetables. We have fruits available around the house. Evan, when he gets on his lows, has access to Nutrient bars and granola bars to help him with his mood when we feel like he's crashing. That they have access to anything that they need, or if they want something, they can request it.
Do they ever go out to eat junk food?
I'm sorry?
Do they ever go out to eat junk food at a restaurant or fast food place?
We go to fast food places sometimes if we're on the road, or we like to go out to a restaurant every now and then. They usually order, a burger with fruit, a burger with salads. They very rarely get fries anymore.
Okay. And what is their sleeping schedule like?
Rebecca's in bed, starts heading to bed around 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Evan starts heading to bed. Evan and Alex start heading to bed around 9. Start heading to bed at 9, in bed by 9:30.
And do you help Evan get up in the morning for school?
I am the one who gets Evan up in the morning for school.
Okay. So we talked about how you're getting the kids up to date on their doctor's appointments and medical appointments. Is it true that you weren't as involved before with their medical appointments?
Sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't quite catch it all.
Okay. We've discussed how you're getting the kids up to date on their medical appointments. Is that true?
Yes, I'm getting everything caught up.
Is it true that you were not as involved before October 31st, 2024 with their medical appointments?
I was involved as far as I knew with notice.
Okay. And how much did you know about the kids' school performance before October 31st, 2024?
I knew about their performances from the kids.
Mm-hmm. And you were aware that they were failing some classes?
I was aware from chatter from them. Laura did not address this with me for assistance over here. But I am finally getting into their school accounts. I'm having some issues with Rebecca's account, but I'm getting that squared away with the middle school registrar and working with them to get their grades back up.
And is your proposal for mom's visitation to keep it as it is currently under the current orders?
Under current orders, yes.
Okay. All right. We pass the witness.
Mr. Matthews, so what you've just told the court is that you were not involved with the children's schooling or with their medical issues prior to that last court hearing, correct?
I was involved. What I said was I was involved as long as I was allowed to be. As long as I was given notice,
Mr.
I was there.
Mr. Matthews, you have a court order, correct?
Correct.
That's been in effect since 2016, right?
Correct.
And have you reviewed that court order that gives you the right to confer with teachers, gives you the right to confer with counselors? You've reviewed that order, correct?
Yes.
And yet you didn't do any of those things, correct? Yes or no?
I attempted.
Okay, so you also, this exhibit that you had of medication, the date that was prescribed was in May.
Correct.
Right? So like you should have, right? You should have, as a parent, known whether or not your daughter was taking that medication, and the medication should have been sent with her when she visited you. Did you not ask about what medication she's on? Did you not talk to mom about all these things?
Yes,
Did
I
you?
asked her.
Do you have any evidence today regarding your attempt to find out from mom about that medication?
Nothing right. It was all verbal.
Okay, prior to the last court hearing.
It was all verbal.
I'm sorry.
It was all verbal.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Matthews, isn't it true that this older child that was the subject of CPS investigations and criminal cases as well, this child moved out of your residence in July of this year, July 2024, correct?
Correct.
So isn't it true that that's the reason you filed this petition to modify? Because now he was no longer in your residence. Isn't that the reason that you filed this petition to modify now?
It's part of it, but it's not the sole reason, no.
And nothing, again, just want to, emphasize this, nothing that transpired caused you to pick up the phone, call CPS, and or to file an affidavit that says, I need something to happen immediately in this case, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So your attorney said you have not used AppClose, is that correct?
I am on AppClose.
But you've not used it.
I have used it.
Well, I thought one of her questions was that you haven't used it.
And I said that I had added in calendars, but I have not been notified anything from Ms. Rebus.
Okay. And you don't have currently any appointments or anything scheduled to meet with the children's teachers, correct?
I was going to do that after this case was over, after we get done with
And
all
my
this.
question is, do you have any right now as we sit here today? You don't have any appointments scheduled with their teachers, do you?
Not at this moment.
I'm going to pass the witness, Your Honor.
No further questions.
Okay. Do you rest, Ms. Martinez?
The only other thing would be to recall Miss Rebus about, the medication issue and issues that she's had, with the medication.
Okay, so I'd like to do that. And then we need to wrap up as quickly as we can so I can give you, I am going to confer with the kids and I need to figure out the logistics of that. And I need to be off the bench at 11:40 this morning for a meeting. So let's have you ask those remaining questions, have you all rest and come up with a time for the kids. I think the best way to do it rather than in person would be on Zoom through the counselor's office again, so that I can actually hear from them today. So let me give you the floor back, Ms. Martinez, so you can call Ms. Ribas again. Ms. Ribas, go ahead and unmute yourself. There's a few more questions for you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Rebus, you heard Mr. Matthews' testimony that he is getting the children caught up on their medical appointments. Do you believe that to be an accurate statement?
No, I made the appointment for her to get her new ADHD medication that just got changed on the 6th. And I also have made their dentist appointments for December 20th. I'm still making their appointments.
Okay, and one of his exhibits was this medication, and it looked to be prescribed in May of 2020.
Yes.
So why, if it was prescribed in May, right, why would he have this medication now in October, November?
Because over the summer, she doesn't take the medication.
And why is that?
Because we don't want her taking it because it affects her appetite and she's out of school. And so during the summer, Rebecca and Evan don't take their medication.
So it's only when they're in school, is that correct?
Yes, they don't take it on the weekends either. Well, Evan takes his anxiety medicine.
Okay. Is that why Mr. Matthews doesn't know about it? Or did Mr. Matthews not know this?
I know he was aware of it because he had them part of the summer and we didn't send any medication. And then I know sometimes the medication, the names on them, they have different names because they have like brand name and generic. And so it just depends on what the pharmacy has and what they give you. And so the names change sometimes.
Okay. Were you, I guess, did you participate, or who was the parent that set up I guess you've already testified. Did you schedule the appointment where Rebecca was going to address the medication issue?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the new medication that she's on?
I don't remember the name of it right now.
Okay. Were you able to participate in that appointment?
Yes. And I picked up the medication.
Okay. And how did you participate? Was that over Zoom?
Yes, we had a telehealth appointment at my house.
Okay. Oh, so was Rebecca at your home when the appointment took place?
Jonathan brought her in the morning before she went to school. I tried to make it as early as possible so that way she wouldn't miss school so much.
Okay, so did Mr. Matthews and Rebecca participate from your home?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. So you all are able to communicate about things like that as well and participate via
Yes,
telehealth.
and he's also talked to her counselors because she's done counseling over the summer at his home. She gets on the Zoom, or not the Zoom, but the telehealth meeting, and she's done counseling from his home.
Okay. All right. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
No further questions.
Do you all rest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, we rest.
Okay. All right. Let me look at the schedule. One moment. Okay. So there is a previously set hearing before the 261st District Court this afternoon at 2 o'clock. It's going to take an hour. So I'm thinking 3:30 for the kids. Would you be able, Ms. Redolosa, to coordinate those meetings beginning at 3:30?
Yes, Judge. I'll speak to my client about it. And we were able to do it before, so I anticipate it that we'll be able to do it again.
It's really important that I have privacy with the children, meaning dad cannot be in the room. It has to be one child at a time. I don't like to talk to children all at the same time. I need to talk to them separately. And a father cannot be in the same room. And that's why I have concerns about doing it remotely. And generally I do confer with children in person. However, since Judge Matthews Rodriguez was able to successfully confer with the kids in a school setting and she was able to talk to them individually, I'm hoping that I can do the same. And Mr. Matthews, go ahead and unmute yourself. You understand that I need privacy to talk to the children, correct? That I need you to not be in the room.
Yes, Your Honor. The kids will be at school. I'll be at home.
Okay. And you think that could be arranged?
Yes, Your Honor. I can make that happen.
Okay. And so they would be going into their school counselor's office to speak to me?
Either their school counselor's office or there will be a designated private room as it was last time.
Okay. And last time it was one child at a time as well, correct?
Correct. Rebecca is the only one at the middle school. And from what I understand, Alex stepped out, Evan went first, and then they switched places.
Okay. So let's go ahead and do this for 3:30. You can use this link that we provided to you. Ms. Gutierrez, can they use the same link so you don't have to resend, or do we need to issue a new link?
They can use the same one.
Okay, so you can use the same link. You can forward it to the school counselor. Mr. Matthews, if you need us to send it to the school counselor, have your attorney make that request through the submissions email. But you already have the link, so you could just forward that. And I'll be looking for them and logging in at 3:30 to speak with the children. So we'll do that at 3:30. I don't know if I'll be able to issue a ruling right after that. I might, depending on how much time it takes. And with children, we never know. And so I don't like to be rushed. I like to let things be as natural as possible. So it may be that I have to take it under advisement after that, and I'll be able to issue a ruling. I anticipate this week. I have a little bit, I have a little bit of a gap in the schedule, and I think I can make that happen. The last question I have before I let you all go is, I've been looking through the file and I noticed that there was a guardian ad litem in the past in this case. And I've been studying the file and looking through there's an extensive history in this case. I've also read through all of the pleadings and sort of digging into the file and the history of the case, and I see that there was a guardian ad litem through the DRO, and that the guardian got dismissed in 2022, and so that guardian spent a lot of time on this case and would have given some recommendations at the time. So what I want to know is, has there been any talk of getting a guardian ad litem again?
There's been no motion filed by either party in this suit. That previous guardian ad litem, as you indicated, and we made that report part of the case before Judge Matthews Rodriguez, that she take judicial notice since the report is on file. And the guardian ad litem recommended that the children remain with Miss Ribas, and that she designate their primary residence. So that was brought to her attention as well, Your Honor.
Okay, so she was aware of that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. So I am considering that as well. And I can, as the court, order a new guardian ad litem in this case. So I'm going to be talking to the children and thinking about that issue and whether I need to appoint a new guardian ad litem on a limited basis for this case. There is a history of usage of a guardian ad litem, and it may be that I want some more time spent reviewing the children's records and talking to the children and talking to their teachers. When a judge confers with children, it's a good thing, but it's limited in scope. So I just want to let you know that I'm thinking about that as well, and that I have looked at the history of gals in this case. So with that being said, I will log on. Who's going to be, let's see. Well, I won't see any of the lawyers because the links will be sent to the counselor. And so we're not going to have the lawyers logging in. But I will, at a minimum, send an email to you. My staff will send you an email and say the judge conferred. She's completed her conferring, just to give you a status update so that you know what's going on. And then confirming to you how much additional time I'll need if I have to take it under advisement. So you're not wondering what's happening to the case. So I'll keep you updated. I'll keep the communication lines open, and we'll proceed that way. And I look forward to meeting the children and talking to them this afternoon. I want to thank you all for your help, for your preparation, and for your presentations this morning. And we will confer again soon. If I think I need the ruling to be on the record, I'll also ask you and see when you can squeeze in a little bit more time. We'll make that happen. We will keep the communication lines open. Thank you all, and you're dismissed from the virtual courtroom at this time.